Alright, hello YouTube. Let's take a look at some Gravely tractors, and should I buy one? Well, I can say I own 3 of them. I've owned many more than that. Are they any good? Yes, they're very good. They're very reliable, and there's a lot of parts, but you must understand what models are what. If you look there, you can see the 3 that I currently own, which are 5260s, 2 of them, and 1 Pro 12. The Gravely Tractor Company's been around for years, and they were started in Dunbar, West Virginia. And the next slide, that's what one of the first Gravely's looked like that you see right here. These early Gravely's were produced in the roughly 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and were made in Dunbar, West Virginia. And a lot of the engines on them were the 6.6s and the 7.6s, I believe. They were produced there till Gravely left in 1968 and was bought out by the Studebaker Corporation. The Gravely Tractor Corporation was founded and invented by its inventor, Ben Franklin Gravely of Dunbar, West Virginia. The factory was there from 1922 to 1968 in Dunbar. And in 1940, Ben Franklin began to start selling off some of the stock of his company, the Studebaker Corporation. He died in 1953, and in 1968, the Studebaker Corporation closed down the Dunbar factory and moved to North Carolina, citing cheaper labor as the number one factor. The old building still stands today. You can look on my YouTube account and see my old video of the factory tour I done in 2016 at the old Gravely factory in Dunbar, West Virginia. So I hear people ask all the time, Matt, should I buy a Gravely? I found one for a good deal. Should I buy one? Are they worth buying? Well, the answer is it depends upon you and what you want and you want to have in a Gravely tractor. You can buy them in all different types and conditions, but you need to know the difference in them. The early Gravely's, like I showed you in the first videos, are very good, but they're very old and a little more harder to work on and to find parts for. But you start getting into these newer models like you see in these pictures here from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they can be a little bit easier to work on and to find parts for. These newer models, like you see here in these photos, are my 5260s. And they are pretty versatile, and they were built mostly in the 70s and 80s, I believe. And they come with Kohler engines. Although I did have one of mine repowered with a Honda, as you can see in another video I had. But the Kohlers have been very dependable. Right there's a picture of one of my Gravely's that's repowered with the Honda set beside the BCS tiller that I own. I don't have a preference on which one I like, a repower or a Kohler. They're both good. They both have their points. It depends on you, the operator, and what your budget is and what you want to go with. The repowering one with a Honda, like you see there, has a lot of benefits of easier starting sometimes and a smoother operation. But you also, got some drawbacks with them also. And one is, mine in particular, repower, is I have a recoil start. I like a recoil start, but some people don't. But it was in my budget for a recoil start not to have an electric starter when I had done my repower. Another style of Gravely tractor is their riding tractors, as you see I have right there. That one's an 8123 from the early 1980s with a Kohler engine. I believe the Kohler engine's a 201, a K201, I believe is the model number on it. And I had some various attachments I got with it. I'm still using that tractor today, primarily as just a mowing tractor. And it's a very good, dependable rider for its age. And they are readily available. And it has a Kohler engine. As you look right here at my Gravely's and my collection I have sitting here, you can see that 2 of them look almost identical, the 5260s. They are practically the same tractor. It's just one on the far right has the Kohler K161 or 181 engine on it. The one in the middle has the Honda 13 horsepower. And then the other Gravely I have that is on the far left is a newer model from I think it's a 2000 model, Pro 12, Gravely Pro 12 with the Kohler command engine on it. And it's a totally different style of Gravely, but it still works pretty well. One thing you'll notice is I no longer have any Gravely L's or any of the older Gravely's that were produced in Dunbar. Nothing against them, I just no longer have any, but I may change that in my future. I believe in 1976, Gravely changed their design and they went to all Kohler and Onan engines in their new models. A lot of people ask me, Matt, why did you get rid of several of your Gravely's and why don't you use them no more? Well, if you look in the picture that I have right here, I bought a Steiner 420 back in 2017, and it can go in a lot of places. I used to take my Gravely to brush hog, and it's a little bit less work on my body. So I still love my Gravely's, and I still use them and love to collect them, and I definitely would buy more. I wouldn't be afraid of any Gravely model. All Gravely's are really good and were designed very nice, and parts are available for all the models. Even the older models, the L's and the C's, there's plenty of parts. The newer stuff, when you start getting into the Kohlers and the Onans, there's still plenty of parts, and you can easily repower any Gravely walk behind or rider. It just depends upon you, your mechanical ability, and your budget and what you want to go with. Thank you for your time. Please comment and subscribe.